Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Nanatsu no Maken ga Shihai Suru, episode 7, if I'm not mistaken, and I am not. The previous episode, the breakthrough in the series, was episode 6, after all, the midpoint of the series, and what a midpoint it was, what a breakthrough it was. The previous episode entirely and wholly changed my perspective on the show. Entirely changed what I think this show is. And you don't always see that. You don't often see that. You don't even rarely see that. It's like extremely rare for a show to show its true face, like in episode 6. And from what I hear, it was the same with the light novel. The whole scene with Olivier fighting Darius was a not an afterword, but like an epilogue of the first light novel. It wasn't even like purely fully a part of it. It was just an epilogue. The finale of the first light novel was the fight with Milligan, and then came this complete and utter insanity. And I can only wonder what people felt when they finished reading the first volume of the light novel and had to wait for the second volume to be released, and had to live with uncertainty whether or not it will be released in the first place, because we all know that Japanese publishers really like canceling and axing the best series, so so there is always that bit of uncertainty when it comes to that. But yeah, the previous episode did a lot. I'm finding it even hard to like talk about the whole Milligan fight, because they fought, and the Nanao showed her her spellblade, which allows her to cut down any obstacle, and this is insanity. Another bit of insanity in this one single episode. A spellblade that allows her to slash and kill and destroy any obstacle, but not just physical one, but also metaphysical, metaphorical, and completely abstract obstacles. If an obstacle for her is her thirst, she's alone in the desert, she's dehydrated, and that's an obstacle, well, just swing, and she's no longer dehydrated. The concept of dehydration gets destroyed. This is completely mad, and I love it. I was expecting this whole time, okay, before that, Olivier's spellblade is also bonkers, because it allows him to pick one of timelines that's the most beneficial to him, right? He jumps into battle, he looks like at all the timelines like fucking Doctor Strange, and goes into the timeline where he wins the battle. It's another completely bonkers, completely like metaphysical, completely weird and odd and outlandish concept of a superpower, and I love it. I'm so used to like ultimate moves in anime and manga and whatever being like slice really good, or fireball but really big, or maybe if the author is feeling creative, it's something like summon undead skeleton, or something like that. You very rarely see like the final stand, the final skill, the ultimate battle ability that's any more imaginative than just deals 10 times the damage of a normal skill. And this show goes above and beyond what I would consider a trump card. This is, as I said, complete insanity, and I love it. I'm all in for it, and I want more, and I assume I will get more. I assume there will be more people who have their spell blades, and I can only assume that those spell blades will be equally as interesting. And of course, the second part of the episode, I didn't even talk about it yet. The second part of the episode, where it's revealed, Oliver's motivations are revealed, what motivated him to get to this school, what motivated him to do everything. It explains why he doesn't want to stand out. All of the teachers, almost all of them, everybody besides Chela's father and besides the fencing, sword play, whatever you want to call him, teacher, are on Oliver's shit list because they collectively killed his mother. And his mother was someone super important because there's like a whole secret organization, almost cult-like, built around her. And Oliver was crowned to be the king of it after he killed Darius. Like, what? 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 And more students are in on it. It's utter insanity. I already liked this show when I still thought it's going to be about, oh, the battle of human supremacists versus the fighters for the rights of magical beings, and oh, it's super cool that it's not an organization against the school, but it's rather two organizations fighting on the school grounds, and so on and so forth. Little did I know that this anime, this show, can just jump the shark even more. It's... I get heated just talking about it. Let me turn on the fan real quick. There we go. The fan is turned on. You can see it in the reflection. Oh boy. On one hand, I'm almost afraid of what's gonna happen in today's episode, but on the other, I don't think they will keep up this like super high pace and super high intensity. Not pace, the show is fairly slowly paced, but the intensity. Right? I think, like, now we are going to get a few episodes that are more normal. Right? Some school life, some, I don't know, fighting for the rights of the animals, of the magical creatures, maybe Katie doing some activism, stuff like that. We need a breather after this drop that happened in the previous episode. We really do need a breather. And I believe we will get it. And then it will pick up the pace even further. I don't suppose we will now start just slashing through the teachers, like a teacher an episode. Absolutely not. I assume that by the end of this season, Oliver might kill like one more teacher, maybe two more teachers tops, but not any more than that. He needs to be slow and methodical to not raise any suspicions, because it's really easy to just raise suspicions if teachers suddenly start dying and just coincidentally after they meet up with Oliver, well, something ain't right. And one last bit, a little bit of a correction. I said, correction. I thought that Oliver can use his spellblade only 3 times ever. No, it's about using it 3 times consecutively. 2 times he can use it, 3rd time he's gonna be putting his life at risk. So that's good, because if he needed to like use one of his 3, let's say 3 if he wants to like go kamikaze on one of his enemies on the first goon that he meets, would be a little wasteful. So it makes sense that he can use it more times than that. Also, it's been set up that he can use it twice consecutively, and 3 times will be pushing it. And his skill, his Spellblade seems extremely powerful. Like, it seems unavoidable, unbeatable, right? So it doesn't seem to me like there would ever be a situation where he needs to use it twice, let alone thrice. But then again, if there are other people who also have Spellblades who might somehow counter Oliver's. Maybe a free resurrection once every 10 years, or, you know, something like that. We don't know the extent of what Spellblades can be. This is a very interesting tea, by the way. Earl Grey with truffle. Not like truffle the mushroom, but truffle the candy. And it's great. I really like it. I'm used to like fruity teas. I'm not used to chocolate or coffee or stuff like that in my tea, but this is genuinely good. Okay, let's be done with it. I already spoke for 11 minutes, so how about we just jump into this episode, right? To do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. Let me... there we go. To hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching Nanatsu no Maken ga Shihai Suru episode 7 in 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, the biology teacher. Oh, that's an interesting staff room meeting. Okay, so she can, like, absorb people with her hand. And yet... oh, hello, just casually being a bat. I love how he just casually breaks the laws of gravity. Doesn't even walk, just slides along. You made an enemy of someone. Let me correct you real quick. Oh? If you figure out who it was, that is... I wonder what is the, like, conflict here, you know? I wonder what drives those teachers. Why did they kill Oliver's mother? There has to be a reason behind that, right? Villains always have a reason. More justifiable, less justifiable, but a reason nonetheless. So I wonder what could it be? It would be interesting if their reasons, if their drive was, like, generally good. Those are always the best conflicts, right? Two sides fighting where you can't, like, strictly say that one of those sides is evil, because you can see merit in what they're trying to achieve. Those are the most interesting conflicts, and I hope it's going to be something like that. I hope it's not going to be like, oh, we hate magical creatures and Oliver's mother wanted to save magical creatures, so we killed her. Because that would just be, like, bullshit. Like, kicking puppies level of being a villain. So I don't think this show is going to do that. Pete episode. Okay, I noted it in my fucking notebook that Pete might be a girl. And Pete did become a girl. Or his body, at least. Her body. I don't fucking know. Is he a weregirl? He turns into a girl at full moon? That would be actually interesting. Gender change depending on the phase of a moon. Gender, sex, whatever. I always have trouble, like, distinguishing between those two, because in Polish language there's, like, one singular word for both. I guess sex is more biological, right? So changing his sex. Okay, legit, what happened, I wonder? Someone spiked his drink and with, like, gender change potion or something? Oh? Member of the same family? You can tell by the ringlets, I guess. Yep. Correction, everybody at this school has issues one way or another. Everybody is an asshole. Everybody is just salivating at the thought of slitting someone else's throat. He's probably a huge asshole as well. He probably tortures kittens in his spare time. Honestly. The rule for this show is an asshole until proven otherwise. Everybody is presumed asshole. You fly. Brooms, just channel your magic. Now go and catch that golden snitch. Scene from the opening? Close. Okay, so Oliver lied. Brooms do fly. Oh. So they aren't strictly brooms. They're creatures that look like brooms. Okay. That's actually a genuinely interesting take on flying brooms. They're just brooms. How are they cute? And of course, it looks special. It has a fork at the end. The Broom Charmer, a fucking Disney princess. Ah, The special broom. Of course. The one chained up in the back of the store, isn't it? Who is that broom's true master? Olivier? Nope, Nanao, apparently. Okay. Mount acquired. The teacher didn't say fly yet. She's just a natural at whatever she does. Oh? Oh, that's interesting. We have a little bit of a connection here. Makes Nanao even more special. She's probably your sister. No, but imagine. Actually. Actually, though. Nanao is Oliver's sister. Oh, I think I suspect what happened to Pete. His chest is flat now, so it probably was some sort of a potion, like breast reduction potion that stopped working. And now he drank another one, so his chest is flat again. So he is a girl masquerading as a boy, I think. Hello, father. I mean, yeah, didn't you put two and two that they share the same surname? His eyes are permanently closed. That's how you know he's a badass. Whenever he opens his eyes, people die. I mean, yeah, he's a teacher. Alchemy, okay. Replacing Darius. I love how he just casually breaks the laws of physics. I really, really do. We have a nerd. We have a nerd on our hands. Keep buying my books. Oh? The potion that flattens your chest is also strenuous on your body, would be my guess. Forgery. I mean, it's probably from forge and forging, but forgery is like first association. In the greenhouse. That's the most fun part. Unless you touch a capacitor and fucking die. Oh, or unless you can explode if you fail. Okay. I mean, at least it gives the students motivation to work. Just throwing them into the deep water as a first lesson in swimming. Shield it. Oh no, my boobs are growing again! Cast a shield on it. Surely you have some shielding spells. Why did you throw some water over yourself? Oh, to conduct electricity? That's smart, actually. That's, like, actually smart, though. Are they not venomous? Apparently not. Or maybe they are. Okay. So that's why he's constantly munching on it. I mean, as far this has been one of the more sane classes they had. To be, like, perfectly honest with you. Okay, so he just randomly switched to a girl. Not like he was hiding his gender, sex, whatever. Okay, so a weregirl. How? Yeah, explain. Oh, when his girl... his aptitude, like, changes? Male form has issues with fire magic, but... or rather, male form has issues with lightning magic, but is good as fire magic, and female form has issues with fire magic, but is good at lightning? Yeah, okay. That's interesting. That's an incredibly interesting concept. Whomst? One of the student council members? She's also a reversee? Oh, a secret reversee gathering? Where Pete will probably be kidnapped and tortured and Olivier will have to save him? Let's be honest here. That's probably what's gonna happen. Right, you probably need to, like, be a little bit more careful and proactive in stopping shit like that. But then I was brainwashed into being fine with it. Or maybe not. He probably delights in watching cartel executions, though. Again, everybody is an asshole until proven otherwise. Oh, interesting. The succubus upperclassmen as well? Oh, okay. We're all friends here. We have no enemies here. Watch them all try to fucking kill him in the next episode. Torturing live animals. Oh no, just some violin concert. Very short one, but still. Oh, that's the end. During credits scene, though. Oh, we have a live performance for the ending. That's always nice. Siren's song? Or maybe not. Maybe not everybody is evil. Maybe I was mistaken. What language is it? It's not Japanese, is it? Yeah, legit. It's not a place where you would ever want to be left alone. I mean, it was already the case, wasn't it? I like that Oliver doesn't immediately go like, oh no, blush. There's a girl in my room now, blush. And after credits. Practicing spells. Uh-huh. Whomst. Oh, the No, I thought it's like Chella's cousin's lackey, but no, it's someone else. Rivals. Okay, so another person will die at Oliver's hands, or another person will be like turned good, also at Oliver's hands, probably. Okay, that was an interesting episode. That was a very interesting episode. Let's watch it again, as always, as we always do. This is interesting. She also has like a modified hand. Just like Milligan had an eye, she has a mouth, and she can devour people. We're here to talk about Darius. I like that they don't like immediately jump to any sort of conclusions. I really like that. All they know is that he's disappeared. They don't know how, they don't know where. Maybe he got himself killed in the labyrinth. Maybe someone killed him. Maybe it was even one of us. Who knows? We have no idea. He just disappeared. All too often in situations like that, characters immediately jump to the correct conclusion, and either jump to the correct conclusion and stick to it, or immediately dismiss it, despite having no basis to jump to that particular conclusion. Not in this case. They have no way of knowing, so they genuinely don't know. I don't think anyone outside of the six of us or that Kid Garland could have. Kid Garland. Who's Garland? Whoever he is, he's not listed on the character sheet, so I'm not sure. McFarlane, I guess. I love how he casually dismisses the laws of physics. Again, I'm saying it for the third time already, but I always enjoy characters who can use magic and just fucking abuse that fact. I love me a character who just floats, who just doesn't bother walking because they just can spend a little bit of mana and can just float, so why bother walking, right? I really like that. He just stays up there, just rotates 180, slides back. Yeah, it's great. I really like him. If it's not, someone here has just made an enemy of me. What if it was a student? Nothing changes. I like that it's not like, again, a sudden, oh, Oliver Horn, you know, or some incorrect conclusion, like, oh, Nano Hibiya, or, you know, something like that. It's just, what if it was a student? So what? If it was a student, nothing changes. We don't know who it was. We just know that he or she is on our shit list right now. That's it. I really like it. It's fairly realistic. OP. Just randomly swapped sexes. I have it noted as a third point, actually, that Pete is a girl. I guess this will get like yellow highlight because it's neither true nor false. It's just both true and false depending on the time of the year or something. I'm not sure. This is very interesting. The very concept of reversey, right? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Like, sure, there are plenty of plot lines with a character just swapping their sex, but it's usually, oh, I was a salesman, but I got reincarnated as a girl, or a girl got reincarnated as the hero of the light novel that she was reading, or, you know, stuff like that. But very rarely there is a character that can just does. It's not a matter of can, it's a matter of it just happens randomly. Or randomly as far as we're concerned. We don't know if there's a rule to that. Perhaps he is a weregirl and just changes every full moon. Maybe it's a seasons thing. Maybe it's an irregular interval, like 172 days or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we will learn about it in time. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Brooms. A cousin. And, no, this isn't the guy we see at the end because he has those, like, Naruto markings on his face. Stacy Cornwallis, a relative of mine. Dustin Hedges. I'm just waiting for him to turn into a huge asshole. But maybe not. Maybe not, though. Everybody who eventually... Well, not everybody. I wanted to say that everybody who turned into a huge asshole was introduced as asshole or crazy. But Milligan is an exception from that rule. She was introduced as a genuine friend to Katie, and she changed that. So it's not said that he will remain a nice guy. And I'm suspect of everybody, honestly. You can start this class until you've been here 6 months. So it has been 6 months already? That's a lot of time. I could fly astride a living creature. Well, guess what? They are living creatures, and I love that. Brooms don't fly. They're not objects, they're living things, magical fauna of the genus Bezum, subfamily Scopae. This is actually cool. Usually brooms are either inanimate, or if they are inanimate, it is through some magical means, right? There's been a spell cast on them, or they are just made that way or something. But those are living creatures that just happen to look like brooms. I love it. I love it. It adds that level of really high fantasy. Yeah, it adds that like high fantasy bordering with fairy tale to it, where it's just something that is this way. We don't get into details how they evolved that way, how they deal with having no eyes, why are they subservient to humans. They are just the way they are, period. We don't need to discuss it any further. I really like that. They subsist of the elementals and the magic particles that exist in the atmosphere, and in exchange they let us fly with them. So you feed them some mana, and they like you, and they are tamed, and they allow you to fly on them. Makes perfect sense. They won't let you on if they don't like you, of course. Oliver has his own broom. It's probably special somehow. I'm not sure how, but it has like a forked end, so it has to be something to it because it looks so distinct. Then again, all of those brooms look very distinct. Some are swept up, some are pointy, some are tapered, some are twisty, some are not, some have a flared end. It's cool. I like it. I like that there's a difference in them. And yes, the forbidden broom. There always has to be one. The forbidden broom, the forbidden horse, the forbidden chocobo, whatever it is, there has to be one. And the main character or someone's otherwise special has to be the one to tame it. I like that it's actually Nanao and not Oliver. You know, it's not the protagonist. It's one of the deuteragonists, I guess you could say. The girl you see in front of you likes you best of all, and the broom likes you back. Let us travel together henceforth. And she is just casually being able to fly like a master with no issue. She's gonna be the one to catch the snitch whenever they have their first match of not Quidditch. I wonder, is there a sport that involves brooms in this world? There has to be. There has to be. Like, there are sports in our world that involve horses, and it's not just horse racing. There's a version of polo where you play sitting on horses, so there has to be some sort of a broom sport. And it's apparently Oliver's mother's broom, which makes me suspicious that Nanao might be a bastard child of Oliver's mother, perhaps. Or otherwise related, or maybe she just happens to have the very same kind of mana or whatever. And that will put her on the target of the teacher body. Nanao is somehow similar to Oliver's mother, and that will put her on teacher's shit list. There we go. Probably, maybe, possibly what's going to happen. Everybody had fun flying. That's nice. Except Pete and the guy, apparently. He's still in his rebellious phase. I mean, yeah, he is at that age, you know, growing up. His body goes through certain changes. Literally, though. You're not my parents. Debatable. We've been having substitute teachers for a while now. What happened to Grenville? I wonder. I hope it wasn't anything bad. He went missing in the labyrinth. Kinda sorta. It was infighting between teachers, entirely plausible. Our mage with a grudge against Kimberly. Close, but no cigar. And here comes Daddy Dearest. Is that Professor Theodore McFarlane? Yes, wasn't it mentioned by Chella that her father teaches here? Or was Pete not part of that conversation? I'm not sure. You're all having fun, you're all friends. And he plays the bat again. Alchemy professor in the immediate future. Technically a substitute, but I wonder if he will stay as their alchemy teacher. And of course, he has to plug his book first things first. Oh yes, uncle, I've read up to volume 12. Praise me, uncle. Ha, bitch, I read up to volume 25 thrice. Get bent. I'm the actual nerd here. Pete just out-nerded her. And got himself a gift from Asia. Sorry, Asia, or however they pronounce it. Non-Asia, non-Japan. Magical engineering class. And dismantle those traps. Just like that. Go. Begin. I like him as a teacher. Honestly. He's probably so far one of the more normal ones. Like, sure, he put some venomous snakes in a trap, but they weren't that venomous. And then he immediately gave out some antidote, right? So, all things considered, from what we've seen from other teachers so far, he's not that bad. I would probably enjoy his classes if I were to study there. Chella casually disarmed 3 of them. I wonder if it was skipped Was there some more like actual scenes of them dismantling all those 3 traps in the light novel, or was there also a time skip? Let me know. Can't get to the power source. I've given up disarming it. Shielding spell, like, is it just me, or is it like the most obvious choice? Put a shield bubble on it, or at least raise a wall of stone. We know that Oliver can create a rock wall, right? So why isn't he going to do that? Is he trying to hide his aptitude? Could be that. Could be that he's trying to hide his aptitude. That, oh, I just know Tony Truce, and I know the pushing spell, and I know a fire spell. The things that everyday, normal, regular student is supposed to know. Rockwall, oh, you can do that? I didn't know. Is he playing an act here, or is it just a little bit inconsistent that he just didn't do that because plot? Because they had to be attacked by snakes. I admire your perseverance, though. He's a nice teacher, all things considered. He really is. And this is a great way of just dealing with them. Instead of trying to snipe those snakes and evading them and whatnot, douse yourself in water, wait for them to bite, zap yourself with electricity, and they all die. Great. And I also like that they show someone besides Oliver and Nanao as being competent. Way too often you have main character and supporting cast. And whenever something non-standard happens, main character solves it. Main character has some cool way to solve a problem. Main character knows something nobody else does. Main character has a trick up their sleeve. And the rest is just supporting characters. In this case, Guy is actually knowledgeable about the snakes and possibly about other things as well, and he actually came in useful. It wasn't Nanao who dealt with those snakes, it wasn't Oliver, it was Guy. It was a supporting character. Also, Katie stays consistent. She's not staying back. She's like, oh no, those poor snakies! Let's save them! I really like that. She could have just stayed behind and done nothing, like the rest of them. She didn't even need to be on screen. But she really cares about animals. She really likes animals. She sees animals being hurt. She reacts. They didn't need to show any more of that, but they just showed her reacting, and thus she stays consistent in her character. Another small little detail that really matters. Excellent work! There you go, and here's your antidotes. There you go. We had fun, didn't we? Right? I mean, so far he seems like a genuinely nice teacher. For Kimberly standards, at least. I want to talk privately about how you've changed. And Pete immediately blushes. Had a weird dream. You've got something that makes you extremely rare. And you've got a gift. This is cool. This is great. They could have left it at that. They could have left it at that. You're a reversey. You just randomly switch sexes. That's all there is to it. But they went beyond that. The male and female sides both have different elements they're best with. This is great. This is amazing. Because sometimes, very often, actually, whenever there is some sex change plot, it usually boils down to haha funny, or haha fun service, or haha perverted. And there isn't really any more to that. Or it's completely inconsequential, and the sex change might as well not have happened. This gives the concept of reversey significance in world. Right? It's actually like significant that now Pete essentially has maybe not mastery, but aptitude for two elements, which I gather is rare. That's great. That's amazing. Suddenly this thing that could have been completely inconsequential, or played for laughs, or played for Pete waking up with his nightshirt just ever so slightly falling down and his bountiful bosom sticking out, right? It could have been just that, but there's more. And I suspect we will see it, this concept being significant all throughout, right? For example, one day Pete fights with thunder magic, and his opponent thinks, aha, he has thunder magic, but he cannot into fire magic. So now we will send an assassin who knows stone magic really well, and stone is resistant to lightning. But then Pete at night changes sexes, and he's male again, and now he knows water magic really cool and just slices through the rock with his water beam. You know, something like that. It actually has potential to be significant for the story. And I love it. I love it. Let's think about how to make the best use for your gift. I suspect he... Carlos, it's a male name, but... female Seiyu, I think? Let me check real quick. Carlos Seiyu. Carlos Seiyu is... where is it listed? Kazutomi Yamamoto. Male Seiyu, okay. Okay. Male Seiyu, but also voicing characters that are female or of ambiguous sex. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. He looks like a member of BTS, so pretty much ambiguous gender, ambiguous sex. So probably also reversi, or something else going on. Or just gender non-conforming, that could very well be the case. I was thinking it was about time, and I already knew you were a reversi, because that's what makes me think that Carlos is also a reversi, because he immediately was able to tell that Pete is one. And yeah, probably a good idea to not go into the labyrinth alone, of course. I'm glad that the student council is taking steps to make the labyrinth more safe, because there's been many very unsafe, very dangerous things happening in the labyrinth, so someone has to do something. That's cool. That's great. I love it. This place hasn't changed in 5 years. I've done everything I can to help make it safer, but I can say how much of a difference it's actually made. This is also cool. This is also cool that student council, that's usually in anime like higher than God himself, isn't really all that powerful in this school. I like that the power levels are realistic here. Headmistress, teachers, student council. Not student council, headmistress, teachers, like it usually is. Gathering for people with sex-based magical traits. So I assume people who are transsexual or changed their gender with... change their sex with magic, or gender non-conforming, or people who have sex magic, I know, testicularo torsiono, and they can shit like that. Probably interesting. I very rarely see this topic even anywhere near being touched in anime or in manga or in most Japanese media. Usually, as I said, it's played for laughs. Haha, he's a girl now and he's embarrassed because big boobs. That's essentially the extent of it. This actually builds a whole plot around it. Whole world building is done around it. And it's not just a random trait that Pete has, that he's a reversi. There are other reversi. There are other people who have some other sex-based traits and sex-based magic and stuff like that. That's really cool. I really like it. It again grounds Pete's situation, Pete's condition in like in the world. Rather that it's something relevant, it's something that exists in the world, it's something that has been there for long enough for a secret organization like that to be created. It's not just played for laughs or played for Oliver to be able to blush in the morning when Pete wakes up, or, you know, stuff like that. That's really cool. You have no enemies here. I wonder. I'm sorry, but I will always and forever remain suspect of everybody in this show. He probably tortures puppies and puts it on YouTube. Honestly. And a show. I was expecting the show to be something bad, but no, it isn't. Maybe it actually is a nice place. Maybe it actually is a nice group of people. I don't know. But forgive me if I'm suspect. Some live singing. It's not some kind of a charm ability, it's something simpler and more pure. It just makes her voice sound really good. That's probably all there is to it. It's not a charm, it doesn't mind control you or anything like that. It just calms your heart or whatever. It has a healing effect on your mind. I think I may be able to deal with this new body. I wonder how we will continue with that. I wonder. We could just mostly disregard it and discount it and just have Pete be Pete, except he has really strong thunder magic now. Or we can actually get Pete a female school uniform, for example. That would be cool. It would really be cool if Pete were to embrace it. Like, I'm not saying he immediately needs to change his name and pronouns or anything, but it would be nice if it actually continued to be relevant in the story, instead of just thunder magic and every now and then we have a scene of Pete changing sex at night. I don't want to even think about spending the night alone at Kimberly. Yeah, let's be honest, there probably is plenty of people in this world, probably plenty of people in this academy alone, who have some sort of a reversi fetish. If something exists, humans will have a fetish for it. That's how we're built. That's how we're built. So it wouldn't surprise me if, were Pete to be left alone in his room, if someone was trying to get in at night in a known, you know, with a known goal on his mind, their mind, her mind, right? So it's probably for the best for Pete to stay with Oliver. If Pete's condition is revealed in front of their friend group, I can see Katie objecting though. 100%. I'm going to put a curtain between our beds. Okay. Yes. I like that Oliver doesn't become a blushing mess at this mention. Any lesser shonen protagonist would. He's just like, oh, right, okay, yeah, of course, it makes sense. Please do. I'll help you hang it up. Sure. I like it. I like it. I really like how it was handled. The two of you were off practicing spells on your own. Yeah, sure, practicing spells, wink, wink. And of course, Nana wasn't worried about anybody. She was worried that Oliver didn't get to taste this amazing, delicious custard pudding. Oh, and they saved them some. That's good. And here's the rival, I assume. Ugh, friends. Ugh. What a concept. Jesus Christ. Dude, how can you have friends? Disgusting. Episode 7, Reversi. Next time, Rivals. Right, I was wondering what the fuck Reversi means in the previous episode. I thought it's about the game of Reversi, but no, we know that Reversi is a condition that mages might have. Okay. That was episode 7. That was episode 7, and it was another good one. It was both significant. It wasn't just fluff. It wasn't just, just filler episode. It was significant. Plot significant, world significant. But at the same time, it was fairly lighthearted and calm, and nothing bad, nothing tragic happened during its course. So we had time to rest, to recuperate after what happened at the end of the previous one. That's good. I always appreciate an episode of rest after something important happens. From the next episode on, I assume we will go back to some tension, some rivalry. I mean, the episode is called Rivals. Someone dying, maybe, or at least someone being bitten down by Oliver into the ground. As he should be. I assume he's not a good person. I assume nobody's a good person. So that's probably what's going to happen. Maybe not in the next episode. Maybe he will just be introduced in the next episode as a rival. And episode 9 is where the fight or whatever clash is going to happen. Or maybe even later. We'll see about that. We don't know his goals. We don't know what exactly he wants to do. Maybe he just wants to defeat Olivier, or maybe he wants to break down their friend group. Could very well be the case. Remains to be seen, of course. Is there anything else I would want to say that I haven't said already? No, I think I gushed enough about how they handled Pete's Reversi condition. I said enough about Broom flying. Again, let me know if there is some sport that uses brooms in this world. Or maybe not. If it's a spoiler, if it's something that will happen in like the next episode or the next 2 episodes, don't tell me. Okay? But if it's something that has been just glossed over, or something that doesn't appear until like the 5th volume of the light novel or something, let me know. As always, no spoilers policy in the comments, please. Anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. I just really like this show. I really like how it handles pretty much everything. Besides the situation with Katie getting kidnapped and how nothing ever made sense in that episode, I don't think anything else was mishandled. Or rather, certain scenes like that one, aforementioned one, sure, it was mishandled, absolutely. But as far as concepts go, and world building and elements of the lore and the world, nothing has been mishandled. Nothing so far has been just purely played for the laughs. Nothing so far has been purely insignificant. You know, if something appears in this show, you can be pretty damn sure it will be significant somehow. It will come into play later, or someone is going to reference it, or it's going to pose a danger, or it's going to pose an opportunity, or something like that is going to happen. That's cool. I also like the fact that this show didn't immediately change the course. Like, sure, watching it is a little bit different, knowing that the teachers who appear will sooner or later be killed by Oliver. That's important, and that changes things. But ultimately, this show didn't just immediately go change 180 into a revenge plot, where instead of school life, it's now just Oliver secluding himself and ruling the secret society, sending assassins after people, and putting on the mask and going on a murder spree, and shit like that. No, He went and murdered a teacher and was crowned the king of their organization, and then went back to being a normal student. And now he will continue to be a normal student at Kimberly for a few episodes, and then he will get rid of another teacher. And then he will go back to being a normal student again. I like it. I like that this show didn't do a 180, but rather introduced like a dark underbelly to it. I think that would be the best way to put it. This show hasn't changed, it just gained a dark underbelly that we will every so often dip into. Perhaps someone will come up to Oliver at night, tell him that, oh, we figured out a good opportunity to get rid of such and such, or something like that. Or we might see him attend a meeting of his secret group, although I don't think it's actually going to happen all that often. But it doesn't just change into, you know, from school life into revenge plot. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't do a 180. It introduces more depth, more layers to the show, and that's great. That I really like. They really know how to handle the story. The author of the light novel, the original author, it's probably one of the most unique stories I experienced in recent memory when it comes to manga, when it comes to anime. It really is especially unique for its genre. There are shows that are unique in general. Undead Girl Murder Farce, kinda sorta, it's mostly like detective story, but it has some unique elements to it. There are, of course, other shows who are unique in their own right, but this one is extremely unique for its genre. I don't think I've seen any Magical Academy show that would be more unique. I don't think I've seen any Magical Academy story that would be unique, period. Most of them just follow the same story beats. Most of them are just retreading the same thing. This is probably the first Magical Academy plot, Magical Academy story, that I can say with 100% certainty is 100% unique. And that's great. And I appreciate that. I always appreciate me a story that is unique within its genre, that does something with this with its given genre that hasn't been done before. I appreciate a unique isekai, I appreciate a unique rom-com, I appreciate a unique Magical Academy. I really do. There aren't that many of them. So every single show that is unique within its genre should be treated like a little diamond, you know? Okay, I think I said my piece. So I think we should just end it here. So now it's your time. Tell me in the comments down below, what did you think about this episode, my theories, my reactions, stuff like that. No spoilers, please, as always. If you want to talk spoilers, Discord is here, also in the description. Free, open to everybody, so don't be afraid to join. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Nanatsu no Maken ga Shihai Suru, but also Helck, Zom 100, Undead Girl Murder Farce, Atelier, Ryza, and Madoka Magica Rebellion coming at you this Monday and up on Patreon already. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Madoka Magica Rebellion and others, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits that you will see shortly. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Fruit, Young Guy, Jude, Dr. Skirium, MZ, Rainer, Akamancer, Marsh, Fussel, Dr. Watt, Yukala, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without the need to disarm a trap.